This is the cursed NBA franchise.
It seemed like he's cursed, and it's unfortunate.
Everything is just chaotic because Ben Simmons is willing to sit out the season.
Ben Simmons has been fined $360,000 for missing Thursday night's game, and the team will keep fining him until Simmons cooperates with team doctors on his mental health issues.
What are the next steps for fall? I have no one can have any idea. This is the craziest story that I can remember in the NBA.
From 2013 to 2017, the Philadelphia 76ers selected a couple of top prospects, back-to-back number 3 picks and 1/6 overall. But from all these talents, only one is still playing basketball, at least part-time.
I can diagnose Embiid, though, as the unluckiest superstar of this generation.
While the other 4 guys are completely out of the league, and some of them are even long forgotten. But let's take a step back and start in 2010, when the Sixers had the number 2 overall pick.
With the second pick in the 2010 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Evan Turner from Ohio State University.
Evan Turner looked like a home run at the time. Just won National Player of the Year, averaging nearly 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. And scouts loved his versatility, comparing him to Brandon Roy. Instead, things never really clicked. Turner struggled to find a consistent role, his jump shot never became reliable, and after 3.5 seasons, the team shipped him to Indiana. To his credit, he had a respectable 10-year career as a role player, but never really touched the potential that people saw when drafting him at number 2. For the pain to be bigger, they potentially missed out on guys like Paul George and DeMarcus Cousins. However, the following season, it looked like the Sixers found their big man of the future. With the 16th pick, they drafted Nikola Vucevic. Big, skilled, great touch around the rim, and a true stretch potential. The perfect modern center before modern centers even became a thing. Unfortunately, the Sixers barely gave him a chance. Behind Elton Brand and Spencer Hawes, Vooch averaged 15 minutes per game, posting a modest 5 points and 5 rebounds. So after his rookie campaign, they included him in the blockbuster trade that brought Andrew Bynum to Southside Philly. The plan was brilliant. Bynum had just made the All-Star team and was considered as one of the NBA's best centers. Except, he never played a single game for Philadelphia. His knee injuries ended the experiment before it even started. Meanwhile,
Vucevic with a catch. He'll turn, fire! He drilled it! Pure magic!
Vucevic blossomed into a 2-time All-Star in Orlando, averaging above 20 and 10 per game. The Sixers drafted an All-Star but got absolutely nothing out of him. 2013 was the year that changed everything. The new GM, Sam Hinkie, announced the process. Blues now to collect assets and dominate later. Sounds simple enough. So, planning to draft Michael Carter-Williams with the 11th pick, the Sixers traded All-Star guard Drew Holiday to the Pelicans for the 6th overall in the same draft, which turned into Nerlens Noel. And many people forget that before tearing his ACL at Kentucky, Noel was projected as the clear top prospect. So Hinkie happily took the risk and patiently watched Noel recover in his rookie year. Then, he finally made his debut.
One man to beat the shot blocking McDaniels, who blocked it!
Off with Noel, but there's the alley-oop.
And the slam by Noel.
Nice. Noel, the swipe, his second.
Nerlens was an elite shot blocker, had quick feet and tremendous defensive instincts. But the downside is that he never developed his offensive game while injuries continued piling up. So after 2.5 years of him averaging 10 points and 7 rebounds, Philly decided it's time to move on. And that was just the beginning of Noel's problems. He drifted from team to team, never really finding a home, and was forced to call it a career in 2023. But let's return to Michael Carter-Williams, because he was promising.
After the ball was tipped, romping down the floor and slamming for his first NBA bucket.
He was able to get in there and bang on the boards with Chris Bosh and come away with it.
Hands are on deck. LeBron James.
Nice.
For Michael Carter-Williams. He took it away. The 9th steal of the game for Michael Carter-Williams. Adding to that record for an NBA debut.
If a rookie nearly hits a quadruple-double in his first game ever, and that be it against LeBron James and the defending champions, you have all the rights to be hyped up. And by the end of the 2013-14 season, Michael Carter Williams won the Rookie of the Year. 16 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. Everything looked promising, until it wasn't anymore. He peaked in his first season and only declined afterwards. His shooting never improved and defenses seemed to figure him out. In his year and a half with the team, Williams shot a terrible 39% from the field and 26% from downtown. The 76ers had seen enough and traded him to the Bucks. MCW stayed in the league for 8 seasons but never came close to recreating his magical rookie outing. He finally called it quits in 2022. And if you were just wondering who the Sixers passed on in that 2013 NBA draft, well, this guy came at number 15 and the rest is history. To be fair, 14 other teams also missed on Giannis. But when you're talking about a cursed franchise, little details like this somehow make the story even more painful. But what's really painful is how the big companies are doing us dirty. So please pay attention to this important message. Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions of dollars for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They knew their apps can contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues but did not share those risks while prioritizing profits. The recent history verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. Now, Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they caused. Click the link in the description to take a short quiz. You may be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000. With the process in full swing, the Sixers had another top 3 pick in 2014, and this time they nailed it.
The Philadelphia 76ers select Joel Embiid from Yaoundé, Cameroon, and the University of Kansas.
Joel Embiid had all the tools to become the next dominant big man. Soft touch, elite footwork, and athleticism you simply don't expect from a 7-footer. There was just one problem: his health. Just weeks before the draft, Embiid suffered a serious foot injury that kept him sidelined for 2 entire seasons. He was glued to that bench for 2 full years without playing a single NBA game. At that point, many considered him as the next Greg Oden. But then, he finally stepped on an NBA court, and boy, was he worth the wait.
Embiid, come three! LeBron James all the way in, blocked by Embiid! Spot up shooter. Wow, what a block by Embiid as he rose to the occasion. Booker, Embiid there to say, absolutely no!
Joel suddenly looked like one of the most dominant centers in basketball. All these post moves, the 3-ball, his defense, and the trash talk. Over the next 6 years, Embiid took the league by a storm, winning 2 scoring titles, making 6 All-Star appearances, and 5 All-NBA teams. All of that culminated in 2023.
NBA Most Valuable Player, Joel Embiid!
Joel Embiid became the face of the franchise, proving that the process actually worked, at least to some extent. While JoJo has all the accolades to show for, the harsh truth is that he never passed the second round in the playoffs and missed more games than he played thus far. But let's continue with the draft busts, cause we're getting to the most brutal ones.
With the 3rd pick in the 2015 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Jahlil Okafor from Duke University.
With Karl Anthony Towns off the board, Philly took Jahlil Okafor, and honestly, nobody thought that this was a bad pick. Okafor had just dominated college basketball, leading Duke to the championship while winning numerous freshman awards. For the horrific 10-72 Sixers, Jahlil was the main guy, posting 17 points and 7 rebounds per game on 51% efficiency. Not bad at all. But while Okafor was learning how to dominate the paint, the NBA was changing right before his eyes. And suddenly, every team wanted centers who could stretch the floor and shoot threes. Unfortunately, he couldn't do any of that, and with Embiid returning the following season, his value diminished almost overnight. Add that to the chronic knee problems and you get another guy that peaked in his rookie campaign. So after a few seasons, another top 3 pick was gone. But here's where the pain really stings. A couple of picks after him, the Phoenix Suns selected Devin Booker. Yeah, the perfect perimeter star that Philly desperately needed to pair with Joel Embiid. Needless to say that Okafor found himself out of the league by 2021. Luckily for the Sixers, they hit the jackpot in 2016.
With the first pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons was the consensus #1 prospect, a 6'10" point forward that drew comparisons to Magic and LeBron. Expectations couldn't have been any higher, but then disaster struck once again. Ben broke his foot, another first overall with a major injury. It all sounded way too familiar for the Sixers fan base. Luckily, he came back stronger.
And no foul called that time, but what do you know, the ball don't lie, and Simmons is going to solo.
But you got to wonder about where his confidence level is. Oh my goodness, how about that dish by Simmons to Redick?
We have the Sixers out of the timeout. Simmons slamming it down!
Simmons won the Rookie of the Year and became a 3-time NBA All-Star. He even made an All-NBA team and finished as the runner-up for the Defensive Player of the Year. The process had its superstar duo, and with the help of Jimmy Butler, everything was lining up for them in 2019, until this happened.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger? Game! Series! Toronto has won!
The claw broke the hearts of Philly fans, and 2 years later came the infamous moment that single-handedly ended Ben's career.
Gives it up. Oh, he was right there. And a foul as Thibault goes to the basket. Boy, Simmons, uncontested, had a layup, but he leaves it for Thibault.
Simmons passes the ball on a wide-open layup in Game 7 against the Hawks. This remains one of the most shocking moments in recent NBA history. Overnight, his confidence disappeared, and the criticism exploded.
Trade Ben Simmons! Ben Simmons! Trade Ben Simmons!
Ben Simmons for a bag of shit right now. Bye, Ben.
Get Ben Simmons out of Philadelphia. For the love of fucking God, man.
Ben, listen to me close. I wore this jersey for you, my guy. I lost my money and my voice for your bitch ass. You ain't shit. You can't shoot. Talk to these motherfuckers. I can't. My voice gone.
To end his misery, he requested a trade and sat out for a year. In Brooklyn, he turned into a meaningless role player. His back issues played a huge part in all of this, and the player that was once viewed as the future of the franchise slowly became one of the NBA's biggest what-ifs. But wait, the next guy turned into a much bigger flop.
With the first pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Markelle Fultz from the University of Washington.
People compared Fultz to guys like D-Wade and James Harden. Yeah, he was supposed to be that guy, but the Philly curse was still looming over their heads. And just like his forerunners, Markelle was struck by a career-altering injury. He missed most of his rookie and sophomore seasons due to a neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome. This is a nerve disorder between the neck and the shoulder that causes pain and prevents the nerves from sending proper signals to the arm muscles. The result? Fultz's shot was completely ruined. It looked awkward anytime he took a jumper. His free throws were a circus, and he quickly became a laughingstock in the league.
We've got new video of Markelle Fultz shooting jump shots. Shot still looks pretty broken. What is going on with Markelle Fultz?
And just 2.5 years later, the team traded him to Orlando. He did put up a solid 60-game season for the Magic in 2022-23 with 14 points and 5 assists per game. But that was his last good basketball. Last season, he only appeared in 5 games for the Raptors, and I don't think he'll find a place on an NBA roster anytime soon. But for the tragedy to move to greater heights, on draft night in 2017, the Sixers actually traded up for the first pick by giving away their third, which Boston used to select Jason Tatum. Yeah, it sucks, I know, but we ain't over yet. Surely after everything that happened, the Sixers should finally catch a break, right? Nah. After selecting the Philly native Mikal Bridges in 2018, whose mom actually worked for the franchise, they changed their minds and traded him to the Phoenix Suns for Zaire Smith. Wait, who?
Guys, Philadelphia has traded the rights of Mikal Bridges to the Phoenix Suns for Zaire Smith, who's the 16th pick in the draft. The Suns will also send a 2021 first-round pick that they have from the Miami Heat to Philadelphia. So Mikal Bridges, who grew up dreaming of playing for the Sixers, mom works for the Sixers, he'll go to the Suns now.
Zaire Smith played in only 13 games in 2 seasons for the team before being forced to retire from playing professional sports due to a life-threatening allergy. Meanwhile, Bridges became the ultimate Ironman, a guy that's yet to miss a single game in his 8 seasons. And an NBA champion, I might add. If there's one moment that summarizes the curse of the process, this gotta be it. So after 10 long years of misery and lost draft capital, the 76ers finally caught a break in 2020 when they selected Tyrese Maxey with the 21st pick in the draft. 5 years later came VJ Edgecombe with the 3rd pick, and both of them will have a chance to lead the Sixers to the promised land next season alongside their newest addition, Jaylen Brown. But even this trade wasn't without its issues. I broke down the dark side of the blockbuster trade in this video right here, so if you want to know all about it, check it out and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace out.